Oh, welcome back to the channel, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. This is the urban legend story of Enoch, and I'm in haunted woodland. Just to add a bit of spice, and if it's the same woodland I came in to do Anastasia and the Doppelganger, and this time we're venturing on Enoch. Now you're going to be asking, who is Enoch? Well, Enoch was a prophet before Noah. And if you're wondering who Noah is, you've got Noah in the ark. Well, Noah is a descendant of Enoch. He comes from a time, so Enoch, a wee bit about him. He comes from a time of great evil, when the Nephilim, or giants, and their offspring were running wild and laying waste to divine's creation. A lot of other legends come from this time period, and I will dabble into a couple of other legends that come from this time period. And he also started the Sacred Order of the Dragon. Now I'm going to go into a little bit about that. He started the Sacred Order of the Dragon to try and stop the Nephilim and their offspring from laying waste to divine's creation. Now the Sacred Order part comes before he was a prophet, but he sort of he was already wanting to challenge the Nephilim and their offspring, and through doing that, divine seen something in him, and then he also became a prophet of divine as well. So the Sacred Order, I'm going to go into a little bit of a back, why they were created, how they were created, because their main purpose is to be divine's protectors of the realm of divine's creation. There is a few other notable members of the Sacred Order of the Dragon from before the time of the flood. And it gets really, really, really interesting. So here we go. These are notable figures that are part of, they were chosen to be divine's protectors of the realm of creation. So you've got Thor. He's probably one of the most famous warriors for protectors of mankind. Then you have Heimdall, Tyr, Hercules, Leonidas, Achilles. Then we get into another side. Ra, Amun-Ra, Osiris stroke Horus. And then Horus's brother, Set, before he betrayed the order, because Ra did his own, because he is a notable figure in the Sacred Order of the Dragon. But Set, obviously, he became he had his own agenda, pretty much. And then there is a rare one, and this one is actually really, there's a few other rare ones as well. So a few rare members is from the Chinese myth and lore, the monkey, or he's known as Monkey. There is also Buddha. Before he became a man of peace, he was also a warrior, Well, he was a Sacred Order of the Dragon member before he became a man of peace. Then there is a Hindi side. They have a member, and he is Ashoka. He also became a man of peace as well. It's rumoured that he actually became Buddha, but that's a separate myth altogether. But I just thought I would share that. They were chosen to be protectors of the land from great evil. And what is this great evil? Well, it was the Nephilim and their offspring. But these notable key figures, they also had a little bit of Nephilim in them, but they weren't evil. There's a great saying, fight fire with fire. That saying comes from the Sacred Order of the Dragon, believe it or not. There's a few sayings that we have nowadays. It's like fight fire with fire. Well, that actually comes from the Sacred Order of the Dragon. And now I'm going to get into why Enoch is an urban legend. Enoch is an urban legend, mainly due to him living for 365 years. While he carried out Divine's mission of readying the people and preparing them for the judgment. Now, the Sacred Order was created by Divine to try and help them, to stop the menace of the Nephilim and their offspring. Sorry, I've only just literally started this, and there is things happening. Anyway, we'll keep going. Because Divine didn't really want to do the final judgment. I'm going to have to use the big torch. Sorry, there's so just off in this direction, just off in that direction, there is a bit of movement. Anyway, so this is a very, very interesting urban legend, because Divine didn't really want to carry out the final judgment, and we all know what the final judgment is. It's a bit up in the air if it was an act of Divine. It was seen as an act of Divine, or it could have been an impact. And there's rumours that it might have been a double impact. Either way, there was a divine intervention. I don't believe the judgment was divine. Divine was preparing people, and it just so happened that the Nephilim and their offspring were running wild, and there was a double impact. And that's called the Younger Dryas. Because all that ties in with Enoch, because Enoch was, if you can, read the book of Enoch. It's really, really, it gives a different aspect. And it's believed that he wrote the original copy in the words of, Divine was coming through and he was scribing. I've done a few notes on certain topics, and I believe if you're letting your creative juices flow, I believe that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes divine will come through. And while doing notes for Enoch, I stated it in a previous video that, hand on heart, I genuinely believe that Enoch has also been communing with me as well, and wanting to give a little bit of a different side, give his side of the story. And I probably caught his attention by the Sacred Order of the Dragon, because a lot of people don't know that. It's one of the old, I touched on this in the other urban legend of Vlad Dracul III. The Sacred Order of the Dragon is older than the Masons. And the reason I state that is it might actually go further back in time. That's open for debate, because there's not really much written about the Sacred Order of the Dragon. It could be older, but he is the founding father of it. Either way, it started with Enoch, because before he became a prophet, he was also he didn't like the way because back around in the time of Enoch, it was very common to see Nephilim and their offspring. Some of their offspring are also depicted as half animal, half human. But there's also others that were human, but had ungodly supernatural strength. So the main, because when you look at how the judgment was done back then with the Nephilim and laying waste to divine's creation, and that was seen as the divine's judgment. But there is like, I don't see it as divine's judgment. I see it more than when you start looking into the story of Enoch and how he became a prophet and who he was before he was a prophet. There's because his main urban legend is he lived for 365 years. He was granted divine immortality for a short period of time, because divine wanted him to carry out his divine's purpose, which was to prepare humanity for, I believe, the Younger Dryas impact. Because the time of the flood, and then there's like evidence of the impact, and it all dates to the same time period, which is really interesting. So there's a part of this that's so he was he started a sacred order, and what I find interesting with the sacred order is that it's always 300. It's always 300 warriors. It's never more, and it's never less. And the more you look into the Sacred Order of the Dragon, the more there's not a lot out there. This is just mainly because I've been asking. But like I said, when I've been asking Divine, I genuinely, hand on heart, believe that Enoch has came through. And because I'm asking to be revealed the truth. Because I don't want to come out and do this urban legend story and just be, there's more fact in what I'm saying than meets the eye. And there's more to me than meets the eye as well. And some people would think that's a bold statement. Well, no. Because when I asked Divine to reveal the truth, I believe, because Enoch was a pure messenger of Divine, especially back in his time. And there's a few notable living the descendants of Enoch. Noah's one of them. And then fast forward, you've got Moses, who was also a descendant of Noah, allegedly. Now, what makes Enoch and Moses and a few other notable Sacred Order members is they're all found. There's no specific, like the parents are adopted, they're always found. And that's what fascinates me. That's the side of Enoch that's not written. I got shown. Because some of the dreams I've had over the past wee while have been insane. And it can be a lot to take in, and it can be a lot to talk about as well. Because it's like, but I'm coming out with things that there's only really one place that would know all that, and I never asked them to be revealed. I asked if you may as well go to the source. I'm a great believer in go to the source, go direct, and like ask Divine to be shown the truth. And through doing that, I wholeheartedly believe that it's been Enoch, because when I started, I reread the Book of Enoch after I was doing my divine communication, and a lot of what I was being revealed, in my dreams is written in the Book of Enoch, and I find that really interesting. Really interesting. So anyway, let's get right into it. So in a previous video, I touched upon like when there's occasionally I'll see like divine beings. A female with a white robe with a red shawl. And there is also a male with a white robe and a purple shawl. Now I touched on the one that's got the black robe with a gold shawl. Well, to reveal who that was, I had to ask permission because sometimes divine and their prophets can be a bit feisty, and they can also sometimes be perceived as being evil, but they're not. They're just they're wanting to make sure that like what's my intent? Have I got good intentions? And yeah, because I'm adding another side to the story. Because through doing a few things, I'm a believer in there's no such thing as coincidence. The universe just does not work on the philosophy of coincidence. And especially when I'm doing doing digging and diving, I'm getting there's like a lot of the same symbols. And then I'm like, with these symbols and a few other things, I'm asking divine to be revealed the truth about that. And through doing that, I got revealed about the Sacred Order of the Dragon. So the main aspect of Enoch before he was a prophet, he was asked to find capable warriors to help against the Nephilim that were running wild, and the Nephilim offspring that were running wild on divine's creation. And what is really, really fascinating about Enoch is he's mentioned in a lot of ancient scriptures, but takes on different names. And that's mainly due to how they would name him. There's a lot of, because he appears in, what I find really, really fascinating with Enoch is he appears in Aztecian scripture and Mayan scripture. And he also appears in some Chinese ancient scriptures as well, which I find really, 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 really fascinating. Because it all ties in on who he picked for being sacred orders, to be members of the Sacred Order of the Dragon. Now, I genuinely think that he went far and wide to pick capable warriors, ones that weren't so easily influenced and corrupt by power. Basically, pure intentions, but willing to defend on behalf of divine. And I find that really, it's quite inspiring actually. And you're going to be wondering why I mention the Tartarians. Now that's a civilization before the flood. And he is mentioned in a Tartarian scripture. Because there is a little bit of a rumour. And I got told I've got to trust my own instincts when I was doing this, because I wanted to divine to reveal the truth. Was he sent by Tartaria? And I got told to trust my own instincts. Because Enoch, yes, he has parents, but he was also found. And this is why I love this urban legend. It's why I love all the other urban. Anastasia's my favourite because she's more in modern, and there was a lot of coincidences. Well, there's no coincidences. They're just there's been reports, and I thought, ooh, let's do. But with the Sacred Order of the Dragon members, especially back with Enoch and future ones, as they were all found. Some were found in the woods, some were found in Some were found in sort of like baby baskets in rivers and stuff. You just need to look at the story of Moses. He was found on the Nile, on the banks of the Nile. Enoch, he was found now. I genuinely think they're you could almost call them divine beings, because Enoch he had a few tricks up his sleeve. He didn't start the sacred order for just being being a prophet, because this is before he became a prophet. It was through doing this he ended up becoming a prophet. And I know who his successor was, and it'll cause a lot of because yeah, his successor is pretty interesting, put it that way. There's a lot happening around. I'm just not really paying much attention to what's going on around, because this is quite an interesting urban story. Because a lot of because he goes into, so you're probably thinking, yeah, aye, sure, he is really the sacred. No, he is the founding father of the Sacred Order of the Dragon. If you can read the Book of Enoch, there's details in there that if you weren't prepared to go fighting the Nephilim, or had fought the Nephilim, there's things that he mentions that, yeah. Because I'm going somewhere with that, because I've also got I'm also going to be doing a passage from the Book of Enoch. I'll actually touch on that now. Just need to try and find it. That's the thing with having so many notes. Yes, found it. Pretty quickly, actually. Anyway. So, this is actually a genuine passage from the Book of Enoch. The lights and the thunder. In those days, mine eyes saw secrets of the lightning and the lights of the judgments. They execute and they lighten for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of spirits willeth. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how when it resound as it sounds above in the kingdom of light, the sounds thereof is heard all around, and is heard all around thee, and caused me to see the judgments executed on the kingdom of earth, whether they be for well-being and blessing, or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of light. And after that, all the secrets of the lights and lightning were shown to me, and they lighten for the blessing and for satisfying. It's one of my favourite passages from the book of Enoch. In case you didn't fully get it, I'll read it again. In those days, mine eyes saw the secrets of the lightning and the lights and the judgments they execute, and they lighten for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of spirits willeth. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how it sounds above in the kingdom of light. The sound thereof is heard all around. He caused me to see the judgments executed on the kingdom of earth, whether they be for well-being and blessing, or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of light. And after that, all the secrets of the lights and lightning were shown to me, and they lighten for a blessing and for satisfying. While reading that for the second time, the owl that I thought had disappeared, the owl has not disappeared. The owl is still present. I just need a big torch. Right. That's very interesting. The vibe in here, while after reading that passage twice. Has changed. Sorry. Got a weird sense of humour. I just thought, nah, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read a passage, because why not? So in case you didn't know, a little more of Enoch is, in case you didn't know, he was a protector of the children of Divine, guardian protector of the realm. He then became one of Divine's prophets. One of the first to do so. To speak the true word. To speak on Divine came through Enoch. When Divine started speaking, there was a high possibility that Divine also chose to come through. It is rumoured if you speak with Divine on some circumstances, you are actually speaking to Enoch himself, because he was the first to be taken, and because there's a little bit of a rumour that the Ark of the Covenant is believed to be the remains that are inside are that of Enoch. But there is no account of Enoch ever actually dying. There is a big part of it is mainly because he got taken by Divine. So then that way that he wouldn't feel the pain of death, because he did so much on behalf of Divine. he became, he set up a sacred order to be protectors of the realm of divine, to be divines, to protect the creation of divine, which I find really, really interesting. And he also spoke the word of divine. And to fast forward a little bit, so a few future prophets, there is a possibility that some of them were actually speaking the words of Enoch. Enoch was continuing on being a speaker of divine, but only picking certain, because you have to have pure intentions. I was expecting a lot more to be happening tonight, and there isn't, but it's still pretty early. It's still pretty early yet, but like I said, I asked Divine if I could do this urban legend, because I don't want to go upsetting anything. Like, I've got pure intentions. There is no malice in me doing this. I'm just reinvigorating the story of Enoch, giving a completely different side to Enoch, the more of the urban legend, and not really going down the pathway of reading the book of Enoch, because there's no point. I want to give a complete other side, because there's been a lot of I've been coming across the same symbols, and when you look into, they've got like their births and stuff are all shrouded in a little bit of mystery, and that's what makes them an urban legend. Well, he's the founding father. He's the founding father of urban legends. Let's get real. Let's get real. I'm being real when I say that. He's the founding father of urban legends. This is why I'm doing Enoch. And he was and another part of Enoch's urban legend story is he was High Protector of Tartaria. Now, I know who the High Queen was. It was Enoch's brother's daughter. She ended up becoming High Queen of Tartaria. But he just, all I got was he was High Protector. So he was probably High King, but only seen himself as High Protector, which is pretty noble. He wasn't really keen on titles. And that's when you start reading the book of Enoch, you come across that. But it all depends on which version of Enoch you're reading, because there's loads of different translations, because a lot of the story's been misinterpreted, or especially the audios, there's a lot of edited versions of the audio book. Like I said, you're best asking the source. Go to the source direct. Take yourself up and go out into the middle of nowhere. Or as I like to say, take yourself up a mountain or up a hill in the middle of buttfuck nowhere and commune with divine. You'll be surprised. So I'm going to go into a little bit of something about the sacred order. So if divine bestowed gifts onto you, there's certain rules that you get presented with. Now these rules, you only know if you know. I'm going in, this is towards the end of the video, I'm giving a little bit more on who I am. Never use them to harm fellow brothers. Never use them to gain power or wealth. Only use them when diplomacy has not worked. Don't use these gifts to harm my children. That's rule number 4. Rule 5. Break one of these rules, you will be judged and punished with full divinity, as these are gifts of protection, as they are only to be used if absolutely necessary. Only to ever be used out with if it's absolutely necessary, or if you're in the face of pure evil. Rule 6. Commune with me to state you are going to use these gifts. Then I will commune with you accordingly. The 6 tenets of the Sacred Order of the Dragon, as given by Enoch himself, bestowed by Divine directly. They are the 6 tenant rules of the Sacred Order of the Dragon. You only know that if you have been chosen. And if you break any of the tenant rules, only the High Protector can judge the Order of the Dragon. You will be judged by Divine and the High Protector of the Sacred Order of the Dragon. And the High Protector of the Sacred Order of the Dragon is Enoch. And then you will also be judged by Divine directly. And another motto of the Sacred Order of the Dragon: through Divine we are guided. That's why I never say it's just I believe in Divine. I don't believe in one specific belief. I just believe in Divine. So, if you are chosen by Divine, in battle you will have hands of holy might. He was said to be the living embodiment of Divine, and was granted long life for his time served. Sorry, just need to check. This is this is a random night. I had a funny feeling things would get a bit spicy while talking about Enoch. Because I've got that feeling that I've already passed Divine's tests, so I don't have to worry about it being a divine test. I've already passed Divine's test on there. So anyway, moving very on. I'm going to end this one here. Now that's a little bit. I might touch upon Enoch at a further down the. I might come out on a filming. Because there's still a lot more. I could do a lot more, because I feel like that's enough for one video, because this is quite a long video, and I do apologise. But when it comes to Enoch, I wanted to do Enoch continuous. I didn't want to break it up into 2 parts. It's a very long video. If you've came to this part in the video, I've given a few things in this video, because there's just certain things you only know if you know. Like Divine says, not all watchers and not all protectors of the realm of Divine are evil. Like I said, I have pure intentions. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the urban legend story of Enoch. I'm going to do a wee walk around. While walking about, I might touch up on a couple of other things about Enoch as well, and the Sacred Order of the Dragon. I was going to do, because I did broadcast that I would do a secret society. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that another night, because this is a really long video. Because it's just one full continuous video on the urban legend story of Enoch, and I can't thank you enough. If you've got to this part in the video, thank you. Just there's a lot going on, and there's a part of me that wants to capture some of the stuff on camera, because I know that there's been I know things have been caught on the audio. Because there's a lot of movement coming from behind me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for all your support. I've reached a goal that I thought I wouldn't reach, and I can't thank you all enough. I want to thank the new subscribers for joining, but for the subscribers that have been here since the beginning, like, thank you. Like, your support is very appreciated. I just wanted to, at the end of this video, I just wanted to come out and actually say thank you. I will do a short video on that, but I just thought I would take a little bit of time at the moment and just thank you for all your support. It really means a lot. Gives me inspiration to keep coming out and doing what I'm doing. If some of them inspire you to do your own research and your own digging, that's the whole point. If they make you laugh, that's the whole point. Whatever you get out of it, as long as you get something out of it, that's the whole point. Anyway, been an absolute pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the urban legend story of Enoch. Come join me on the next one. The next one's just going to be a walkabout because there's been a lot of, there's been a lot of strange activity. So come join me on that one. Until then, brothers and sisters, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless. See you on the next one. Peace.